Folks, it's with great pleasure I welcome Alma Azarcon, Director of Human Resources and Operations and Community Relations from Give Something Back. Good to have you on the show, Alma.
Glad to be here.
She's a 9-year veteran of Give Something Back, and for listeners, you may recall we had a great conversation with Mike Hannigan, the co-CEO, back in December. Well, Alma's another of those great people out of Give Something Back. Let's start at the beginning, though, Alma. How did you get started in Give Something Back? What drew you to it?
I was a customer at Give Something Back while I was working in the nonprofit organization in Oakland, and that's how I met Mike and Sean as a customer.
All right, all right.
So I guess coming to a crossroads in career and you want to decide what to do next, there was no better way to go from asking for money to a company that gives the money. So that was an easy decision to make.
Now, Alma, again, the show is focused on labor this weekend. And we've had a variety of people on speaking from different sides of the fence. But you're in HR. What is your view on labor, and specifically at Give Something Back? What are your views?
Give Something Back is probably one of those unique places to work in.
Okay, how so?
I think if you walk through our offices, you'll probably, and talk to people. When they say, you know, we own the company, they probably think that they really do own the company. Their heart feels it, their mind feels it, and they operate like they do. They have vested interest in the growth of the company. And I think it's because, too, that we know that at the end of the day, the work that we do really affects the health of our community by our donations, by our philanthropic activities, by our volunteerism and everything. So it's a very unique place. And I wish there were more of those workplaces.
Yeah, and listeners, for those of you who may not have heard, Give Something Back was founded on Paul Newman's model, good old salad oil Paul. But last year, Give Something Back gave back to the community over $400,000. And this was given to groups that were voted on by the customers as well as the employees. So direct to the community as voted on by different groups. And my golly, I can tell you, having been at that event, the smiles were quite large when the checks started arriving. Now, Alma, you had mentioned off-air that when you started, there was a lack of diversity at the company. And talk to us about that. Tell us how you changed it, and tell us about how responsive Give Something Back has been to labor.
Well, I tell everyone this story all the time that when I was new to Give Something Back, I went to the two owners, Mike and Sean, and I said, my problem with their company is they are too white. And of course, the sweet response was, do something about it. And 2 years later, I was very proud to present a report to Mike and Sean that at that time we were 50% male, 50% female, and 60% minority. But it takes a lot of doing, and I used baby steps to get there. And both traditional and non-traditional recruitment and diversity awareness, and just, you know, having a Cinco de Mayo potluck or a Chinese New Year potluck, and just pure awareness of others' differences, and so that they are more accepting of each other. So today, GSB represents the diversity of its location, which is the Bay Area and specifically Oakland.
That is truly tremendous. Again, listeners, this is about cultural sensitivity, being aware of each other, and, if I might say, doing right by each other. It's too bad we can't duplicate that Give Something Back model. I think some of our societal problems would go away. But actually, the funny thing is, there's no reason we can't duplicate it. On the labor relations, I know that Give Something Back is non-union. But if somebody has a complaint or what we would call a grievance, how is that handled?
The culture of Give Something Back is a very open door policy from all ranks. So if someone, for example, the receptionist has something to say or a complaint or even a suggestion, he or she can choose who she wants to go to. It could be me, if it's a very formal and official complaint. And of course we have processes, an HR process of airing complaints or, you know, but it could be Mike. She can go up to Mike and say, hey Mike, I think we can do this by doing this better. If a driver notices something out in the field that could be better for our customers, He comes back, he reports that to his supervisor sometimes, or sometimes he just picks up the phone and said, "Hey Alma, I think if we did this for our customer and our customer appreciation day, we'd be really great." And that's how it always works with us.
What other examples would you offer to our listeners of how Give Something Back is attuned to labor and its needs?
One of the things that I'm really proud that I do from the HR standpoint is our recruitment efforts.
Okay.
Before I even post publicly to our openings, it has made its way to the community sourcing, whether it's to the unemployment office or to the community organizations, to organizations who work with ex-offenders, welfare to work moms. And so I ensure that I give them first crack at our openings. And that when I can't get my recruitment there, then that's when I post publicly.
Oh wow, that is
so I try to make sure that we reach where we need to reach.
It's to the economic disadvantage, and if I might say, Alma, it really does speak to social justice.
It does.
But it's what I think is the right thing to do.
It is. And it works.
It does. What is the turnover like?
Oh.
Very minimal?
We were just talking that we were about to celebrate somebody who's been there for 15 years.
Wow.
And we are a 16-year-old organization,
so
we were planning a quinceañera type of party for her. Our average tenure is probably about 5 years. Wow. And our drivers are 10 years, 8 years, 7 years, so many. I've been there 9 years. And there's been many more, before me.
Well, I tell you, listeners, it's rather unheard of in this day and age where people hop around to jobs. But what Alma was mentioning to me off air is truly she comes to work every day more excited about the work she's doing. And I've got to say, that is unusual. But it is also something I've got to say kudos and job well done on. I got to say, Alma, Give Something Back is certainly a unique company and an interesting one to work for. Do you want to hire me today or tomorrow?
I'm sorry, we don't have an opening for a financial planner, Tim. But
shucks. What openings do you have, though?
We always have openings for people to sell. That's always a constant opening. I have a current opening for an administrative sales support person.
Okay.
And a couple of drivers and a warehouse assistant. Because we are growing, we need help. So you out there who are the go-getters and the do-gooders, contact me at 510-635-5500 if you are interested in a career at Give Something Back.
I appreciate it, Alma. Again, that was
510-635-5500.
And listeners, will put it up on cathedralfinancial.com. What do you see as the future of labor in America?
It remains to be crucial. I know that there's probably this thought that technology will take over the human element, but in reality, technology will just speed it up. You still need labor and people to make the right decisions, because technology doesn't make the decision. It's still people. And at the heart of it all is of every business's success is the level of engagement of its people.
Well, it is well spoken, and certainly I think we can say Give Something Back knows how to take care of its people, retain them.
Absolutely. I think we are still some of the few companies who continue to pay 100% of its employees' health and dental benefits.
Wow. No,
we still do.
And at the same time, Give Something Back is, of course, profitable.
Of course, because at the end of the day, profit is our goal, so we can give it away to the community organizations.
But do you notice, listeners, here we have a triple bottom line. It is possible to be profitable, do right by your community, and do right by your people. Alma, any final thoughts as we head into Labor Day?
I think that what companies need to remember always is that, like I said, we could not do what we need to do if we didn't have people. I think I read something about Confucius saying if you want to live forever, to be successful forever, you grow people.
Final question for you, Alma. What really matters?
People. People, the community, and doing the right things.
Folks, that's Alma Azarcon, Director of Human Resources and Community Relations. Give Something Back.